I'm DM Sleeper, this is Campaign Craft, and I'm here to help you craft your campaign. Well, today is a review of this. Full disclosure, I got this for Christmas, and we're always more generous with our opinions of things we get for free. But this is something that I really wanted, and I planned on purchasing myself anyway, and I used it the day I got it, in fact. It comes in a really nice sturdy box, has 100 of these different wall cards that range from rune symbols to just blood splatter, and mine shaft entrances, doors, locked doors too, a hint that's dangerous to come, more runes. There are a lot of these just simple torch ones. You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? So these are great in the terms of their art, and they have a lot of details to them. They can really add to immersion. They have some bookshelves, more runes. They can add to immersion. They can add to a sense of flair to your dungeons. There is one problem with them, and it's not in terms of craftsmanship. Craftsmanship is good. Quality of the actual product is good. It comes with enough stands for all of you, which is really impressive that it comes with so many stands. Usually you see things where they'll sell you a bunch of cards or tokens, but not a lot of stands. And they stand up good. They don't, fall over or anything like that. They're not flimsy. They're too big. I mean, they're realistic, but they're, in terms of their height, well, actually, no, 5 feet. This is 3 inches, so that's 15 feet. You're not going to see a whole lot of 15-foot tall walls in dungeon. I wish they were 2 inches tall. If they were 2 inches tall, they would be easier for my players to see over, and they would be easier to, well, that's the big thing, is visibility. Be easier to see over, and it'd be more realistic. I mean, a 10-foot tall wall is more realistic than a 3-foot tall wall if you're crawling through the bowels of the earth on your way to a kobold fortress or something like that. So I do wish that they were a little bit shorter. And the art is too good, and there's just not enough space on it to just snip the top or the bottom off of them. So there's no way to kind of DIY it better. I wish they were shorter, because players have a hard time seeing their characters through it. And they take a while to set up in-game, but if you've set up beforehand, you'll have no problem. The cool thing about this versus dungeon tiles is you have more freedom with how you set up your room shapes. Like, I guess I'm making a library here. My son loves to climb up on the table with me. He's not even 3 yet. He'll climb up on the table with me and fight some monsters, and we'll set up these elaborate dungeons with monsters in them. And he doesn't really do a whole lot of playing per se, like he'll roll dice if I tell him to. But the fun thing for him is to set up a whole bunch of terrain with monsters to go with it. And he'll say, "Rune" for the runes, and a door for the door. And it's just the cutest thing ever, and he's going to be a total nerd one day, and I've ruined him. But yeah, you have complete freedom with how you shape the room, even to a fault, because you see my room's getting kind of janky. And if you bump it, they kind of twist. So if you have a rowdy group and they're rolling on the tables instead of in dice trays, you might have some issues. We ran into that when we played. Oh, they're double-sided too. That's nice for doors. Other than the height, though, this is really nice. It adds a lot of freedom for how you can customize it. You can just lay a piece of paper or something over the roof to hide what's in a room if you need to. And it's a really cool DM tool that if I had to buy it, I would. I like having it. I don't know that I would use it every session, but I do recommend it for people that want to kind of level up the immersion and create a sense of like mystery and exploration with a big dungeon laid out before your player. Just make sure that you set it up before they arrive, because it's so... the day I opened this as a Christmas present, I set up a game for my players, and it took about 20 minutes to set up this dungeon, and it wasn't a very big dungeon. So make sure you take the time before the players arrive to set up your dungeon if you're going to use the Master's Maze dungeon walls, which is something that I would recommend with certain caveats. Well, I've been DM Sleeper. This has been Campaign Craft, and I hope this has helped you craft your campaign.